welcome to episode 155 of the Concealed Taco Dudes podcast.
Woo! You have to cheer loud.
Yeah, that's
Go, do it again. You sound like the character on Monsters, Inc.
You didn't turn in your paper. And that's natural. Like, I don't have to modulate.
Yeah.
2 packs a day, that's all. I've cut back.
Yeah, two packs of COVID a day. Yeah, something like
I haven't had COVID since. Nick.
I've had it 4 times.
What? Lucky.
Nick Moyes.
Legitimate, not the. I think I had it before everyone knew. Like, I've legit had it all 4.
Are you trying?
I got it
Is
once.
this a contest?
and
Are you
that's it.
trying?
That was horrible.
Yeah.
You win.
Mine was
I did the vaccine in between number 2 and number 3,
Oh,
and
really?
it did a lot of good.
I'm finally feeling better.
Give me those spike proteins.
Yeah, it's because I've got it. It's getting out. I've had to have Stan will just sit there and wring my neck. He'll just
ring the COVID out.
yes. He's
have
like
to get you some
out
ivermectin.
damn spot.
I've got ivermectin.
Yeah, have you taken
I've
it?
got my horse paste. Yeah. Doesn't help. Colostrum, I've been taking that. Like, that doesn't help.
Colostrum.
Hey,
What?
a colostomy
Bovine
is great.
colostrum.
Wait, a what? I thought.
Not you.
Yeah.
It's a little lozenge form.
Oh, I'd kill for a colostomy bag.
Immunetree.org.
Oh, they're great. You don't have to get up.
No.
You can just drive all day.
Before we go any further, let's go around and introduce everybody who's here today.
We have a full house
Quite
today.
a crowd. We have Jason with Concealment Solutions.
Carl from Gun Dudes.
Stan.
Of Gun Dudes.
Nick of Gun Dudes and Utah Gun Exchange.
Taco.
Ricky with Magholder.
So that's our crowd today. We are meeting the day after Mark Houskeeper's funeral, and we are going to do an epic episode
We're celebrating.
commemorating Mark. We're celebrating Mark's life.
He'd be sad that this is what got us all back together.
Yeah, really.
But
Yeah.
It's good to see him. We got to see him before he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 3 weeks before he passed away.
2
Yeah.
weeks? 3 weeks?
Something like
No,
that.
it-
It was like 2 weeks.
It was less than 2 weeks.
A week and a half.
The day before. It was the day before.
We saw he's here now.
You know, these are such dumb comments. I don't know why you guys are saying such stupid things.
why little?
I mean, come on, let's bring it up a level. Okay?
Stan, hold back until we ask a question, and
Oh,
then...
gotcha.
Okay.
So for the uninitiated, Mark would be a regular guest host on
Right.
Gun
Yeah.
Dudes
Right.
for a long time.
And
He
the
would just-
founder of Magholder, and good friend to all of us.
And then that stupid aging and all that catches up with you. And although lucky him, he gets to pass on. We call it sweet release.
Sweet release,
He
man.
had 3 years of not lucky him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
ALS. Is
It's a
Travel
bittersweet
body.
thing where I'm glad that he's not suffering from
Yeah.
it anymore. It's,
Yeah.
ALS is not a friendly disease.
It's a rough
let's
way
say.
to go,
He
for sure.
gets to leave this crappy life, and we're stuck here. Look, we have guns.
You know, so there's
We have guns to
ALS.
satisfy
But we're still
us.
in the Matrix.
That's where I was going.
Yeah.
So there's ALS and UPS uniforms.
Yeah. I don't want to go and say that it's the same. But they're both suffering.
Maybe just like
So
A
those
degree of-
listeners that have ALS, we're sorry, but not really. Makes us laugh.
At least he didn't have to wear a brown uniform.
Hey, I
In
can say what
addition to-
I can say what I want. I almost died. I was in a coma. So I can say what I want.
Sure, we almost lost 2 of you.
Yeah.
1.5.
Yeah.
and if they'd had a plastic
Well,
seal on the
1/3.
pillow,
Half.
they would have got you.
To
in the
be
hospital.
fair, I tried to die first, and you
Yeah,
guys
that's
all
true,
just
yeah.
piggybacked,
It's true.
and
When
Mark
did you
had
almost
to,
die?
Sticking
Mark
hard.
had
When
to-
does it start?
Really wanted a double bypass.
Really?
About
You had a
3
heart
years
attack?
ago?
Before go.
No,
Almost.
I was moments from it.
From
and
a heart attack.
I
We
had
cared enough to be like, you okay? You need anything?
when they went and put the stents in my heart. He told me we were debating whether we were going to do an emergency bypass right
Really?
then,
Instead of stints.
right? Because I had 4 blockages.
And all of our money was on Stan going first.
I know.
All of us.
You guys have a dead pool? Really?
It's a really big calendar. It doesn't
Like,
exist.
Now, was it
Who
before?
had-
Was it before Mark or after the ALS?
Oh, well before.
yeah,
but
years
even
ago.
after
We
Mark
started-
got ALS, we thought
still me, huh?
Stan,
Stan's still
he's a
going
goner.
first.
Always the bridesmaid, never bride. Dang it.
we thought for sure. No, but it's,
The Matrix wants you a little longer, Stan.
which is all really the reason why play now, enjoy what you got. We got to talk about enjoying guns.
Well,
Because
let's-
Mark did that. I mean,
he did.
he loved it. He loved him some guns.
He did.
And it wasn't just a love of guns, it was a love of what they stood for, what they meant. Like, he made
Yeah.
sure that education went out. He wasn't a rah-rah red meat guy. It was, hey, these are to keep a tyrannical government at bay, to
Yeah.
defend your family, to all the good reasons.
And to spend time with your family doing
Yeah.
that.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
with
And to shoot-
friends and family.
And to shoot lots of rabbits.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
he didn't shoot the rabbits.
Oh, he shot a lot of them.
Did he?
Yeah.
I talked to
feed
his
the
ex-wife
bird.
at the funeral, and
Yeah.
she said that they used to fly around in an ultralight. She would take control of the yoke, and he would shoot rabbits from the plane. She's like,
What?
yes, I learned this yesterday.
Wow.
Why did we never talk about this?
They would fly into the Nephi airport back before it was barely an airport, she said.
It was a
And
strip.
he'd be like, all right, take the controls. She goes, I'd drop that wing, and we would just do a circle, and he'd just pop off shots.
How did Mark not lead with that story?
I know.
Yeah.
Get to know someone.
And I believe
don't
it
know.
because then Tasha brought over a photo album, and the ex-wife was in it, and there's photos of. She's like, oh yeah, there we are with the ultralight behind us. We would fly into Nephi. We would, after shooting rabbits, we would camp there, like literally off the strip, and then jump in the plane the next morning and
Wow.
head
This
back
is an
home.
idea for Jim Heffelfinger.
Yeah.
Jumping jack camp
Forget
in
helicopters.
ultralight.
In
In
ultralight,
ultralights.
yeah.
That's
So-
hilarious. Yeah.
Stan, you're a pilot.
Man.
You could take us.
Now I'm mad, Mark. I thought we knew you.
Technically illegal, so there's not a lot of bragging that you want to do until you're gone, and then you let other people
Now
tell
we
the
can say whatever we
stories.
want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he also
Yes,
sold
they can't do
cocaine.
anything to him.
Yeah.
He was doing drops with
Very
life
cool.
jackets
Yeah.
attached to kilos. I don't understand what that was about.
And they weren't jackrabbits. They were. Not,
Stop. The funny part
Children?
is, like, did he think he was actually gonna hit him? She's like, he did hit some, and we just left them out there. And I'm like, oh, you didn't land and go retrieve them? Weird.
just by sheer volume of 22.
That's hilarious.
It's a great story I heard. Yeah.
Oh, I think I saw that at the SHOT Show. Isn't there like a 22 machete? It's like a machine gun. What's the round barrel?
Oh, like
Cool.
a Gatling gun
Yeah,
or
it's
a
like a
minigun
Gatling
or
gun.
something?
Yeah.
Gatling gun?
Minigun
They've
that
had
shoots 22.
variations
I've seen
of
a
that for a long
19,
time.
Yeah.
19 belt fed variation in 22 long rifle.
We got to
Okay.
get us something like that.
Anyway,
SHOT Show's giving me a lot of ideas already. I'm back. So why not?
Let's knock out sponsors really fast so we can get back to the good stuff. Remember to go check out NOE Bullet Molds at noebulletmolds.com.
Use coupon code FLT001. Save you a few bucks.
Utah Air Guns, utahairguns.com. Use the code AirCandy. That'll save you or get you free shipping and turret stickers. Black Ice Coatings,
What kind of stickers?
turret stickers.
Turret. Okay.
Not Tourette's.
Those would work
Be
too.
awesome.
Didn't we say it sounded like turd stickers?
Turd
when you said it?
stickers?
Yeah. Turret.
Whatever.
Turret
Whatever
stickers.
works for you, Stan.
I know, a dumb question.
Black Ice Coatings at blackicecoatings.com. Call them up, tell them you want it slickery. And magholder.com. Use the code GETINTHEVAN. I have candy.
Classic.
And you'll save, I don't know. like
20%.
It's 20%? Okay.
now you tell me.
And Concealment Solutions at concealmentsolutions.com. Use the code SHOWMETHECANDY and you'll save 15%. Okay, that out of the way. Where are we going next?
What we do with guns.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mark would appreciate that.
Yes, he would.
So, do you want to go first?
You know what? Other than working on some new mag carriers prototypes for speed loaders for revolvers and 10 round 1022 mag, that's about all the excitement I've done. I mean, I could talk about all the holsters I built, but
Yeah, you're boring everyone.
exactly, exactly. I'm playing with some new
Stan's
new
fallen asleep
stuff,
twice.
new designs.
I just about said that.
I knew you were going to go for that. I can't do my Homer Simpson impression anymore, though.
You know, it's almost like we finish each other's.
Sandwiches. I know.
Carl.
I do have a bunch. I just started reloading again. I've waited all this time because I've still got the lung thing.
You've been saving yourself?
I've been saving myself for the powder. Just because I've been totally chicken to reload. Just breathing in anything because it's.
What are you breathing in when you reload?
Well,
When you do it right, there's a lot of smoke.
Yes.
And dust and everything.
and not only
Bunch of spent primers.
you're supposed to load some, snort some, but now it kind of hurts. It burns. See, my lungs look like Shelob's lair, which is super awesome. Lord
Every
of the
powder drop, Carl's just wafting.
Oh no! I notice a difference. I've gotten close to it. Went, holy crap! It does affect me. Now I've started reloading. I'm setting up my benches so it's more modular, so I can swap stuff in and out using T-channel.
So why don't you use a respirator? You just put a dust.
I'm a man. I don't need no respirator.
Apparently, you're not a man. You do need a respirator.
Obviously, another dumb question. My apologies. I got to stop that.
Because, and I found this out, you sweat when you do that, having that stupid mask on, and then you get a little goatee trail of powder.
I think that'd be worse.
What are you doing with your powder?
Yeah.
Do you
Changing them out. I'm doing different ones because I also.
do you like change it from like 10 feet above it, like you're pouring milk like a little kid? Like,
you do know where tables hit me, right? Slightly on the
Top of the forehead?
Yes.
I would think that would be a problem with a tall person, not a midget.
Yes. No. It's just the opposite. But I did a reloading thing for our neighborhood. A bunch of guys like, hey, we want to, because I've got a bunch of reloaders. I just haven't been able to use them. So I'm like, here, I'll show you. So we did a little class on it and let everyone try it and found out I was doing it wrong. I was like, oh, you want to use two books. Went and got the second book and like, yeah, we're too hot on this. We did this on purpose because we're going to teach you guys how to pop the bullets out and start over. And that's a good idea. I'm like, yeah.
What were you loading?
On
Like
purpose.
7.5.
Was that your shot
tight
shell,
roof.
like
45.
9 millimeters?
No, it was
For
40.
9 mil.
It basically was going to be, but 45. So, yeah, it was fun. Did that. Learning that I need to keep up on. I need more books now. But I've got 3 different references. I had to dig around and find everything. So, just been having fun setting up reloaders and then changing it and then dumping powder.
Yeah. You do know you could check the online sources too, as
Yes.
with
you
like
heard of the
Hodgson
internet?
reloading.
There is that interweb thing,
Yeah.
but I'm getting older.
Nosler, Hodgson.
I wanted to find my stuff. I had it all written down. All my notes on all my loads that I've done, gone. So I have to start over again.
So you do
Wow,
know
your wife
also,
really thought you were going to die, didn't she?
Yeah. No.
She just started burning
That's
stuff.
not a joke. All my stuff was packed up.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
I just got boxes labeled with Stan's name.
When I'd gain consciousness, I'd wake up and I'd see her holding a pillow. Like, oh, hey, I thought you wanted this.
You're back.
Yeah, this is for your head. So, the back of your head, not the front.
Okay, here's a taco tip.
Yeah.
Spreadsheet.
Oh, I know.
Online.
I need to.
Then you never lose
Google
it.
Drive, so your federal agent can take a look at what you're loading.
Yeah, really. No, but all my stuff was all on a clipboard, everything. Found the clipboard. Paper's gone.
She thought you were leaving.
Yeah, she really did. But they packed up
Bless her heart.
a whole bunch of stuff, thinking Dead Meat Carl doesn't need this, and now I do. Now I'm fine. So been excited about that, and just been oogling the SHOT Show stuff. FN's got I like that 510 tactical, which is like the 509. Why not? But it's in 40 or 10 millimeter.
10 mil.
I was going to say 40.
Not 40, 10 millimeter.
The real
40
40.
has died.
Yes,
Yes,
has.
it has.
10 millimeter, going strong. Love it.
Stanley.
Oh, you have to go to me.
Just don't ask any questions.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I did nothing, and I liked it.
Of course, we've been in our busy season. We're out of the busy season now.
No, I just we did some reload. Well, a couple of weeks ago, I loaded a bunch of 357 taco, and I casted a bunch of bullets.
Yeah,
I
you
did
just-
11 pounds.
Yeah, it's not
That's
bad.
not nothing.
Yeah, well, that was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
I
was
think we've
there
done
too.
a podcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, I went and tested those. Fire great. I used a .359 resizing, which was not too tight. I thought it was going to be a little bit
0.39?
too- Yeah, .359.
0.359.
Yeah.
358.
Yeah, that's what I usually say.
Whatever it takes.
Well, we wanted a 0.35 out, 8, but Al was out of them. So no, I just did some reloading and shooting.
What did you shoot those 357s in?
That
The
Ruger
little-
that you sold me. I acquired a
The
Ruger.
GP100.
GP100, yeah.
How did that?
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it's a piece of crap. He totally ripped me. I need a refund.
Yeah, it has a bulge in the barrel somehow again.
Yeah. No, that's all I did. Just not enough time.
It's
but,
so freaking cold out there, too.
Yeah.
It is. Well, you have the cold, but then you have all the precipitation that's coming down. It's
Yeah.
either rain or it's like wet snow, and it just makes it tough to get out there. And
Yeah.
Sit in the mud.
Actually, I did test some loads through my my little Ruger varminter.
the little
223.
Predator.
Mm-hmm. So
How do you like that thing?
I bought a ton of bulk 62 grainers like yours, FMJs. It shoots under an inch, and I wasn't even really trying.
Yeah.
I mean, I just kind of casually shot it.
Just keep shooting.
Yeah.
Just random in the air.
Yeah, so if I really aimed it, it'd probably
What scope
be
did you
even-
put on it?
It's just a little, it's a Redfield TAC MOA. So it's not going to, it's only
What?
3 to 9.
Oh, 3 to 9.
So it's not going to be as good for the 500 yards, but I was hitting the 500-yard target with you when we first shot them. Now, mine's probably a little better than yours.
Yeah, but you didn't bring yours when we were shooting the 500.
Yeah, I
yard.
did. Yeah, I
Did you?
Yeah, I thought I did.
No.
No?
Nope.
Well, anyway,
No, it's
mine's
just
a little
mine.
bit better than yours because that stock was just that much, tighter than the one you
Yeah,
you
mine
got
was the
from-
one that we actually hit the 500-yard target with.
Okay, must have been my
Girls,
girls.
we both can we
Anyway, that's all I did. Go, Nick, and let's welcome Nick. How long's it been since you heard Nick's voice?
Oof.
Been a while.
the sultry sound.
4, 5 years maybe?
Yeah.
It's been a hot minute. Yeah, this week I ordered a PDP mag holder for my Walther PDP that I bought a while back, and I thought, what? Once I got the news about Mark, I ordered that. I ordered the wrong one, and this kind gentleman here decided to bring me one to replace it with at Mark's funeral yesterday.
That's customer service.
That was customer service.
That's what I said.
Hand
He came to
delivery.
the funeral just.
So I returned the favor and brought the wrong one with me today in the hopes that he would be here. So
That's funny.
we saved on postage. Yeah. All those returning envelopes.
Yeah, well, forget about Carl and I starving to death. You're afraid, man.
You share each other's sandwiches. It's your own
Send it
fault.
FedEx.
There you
I'm sorry.
That's right. Oh, we don't use the F word.
And then
Yes, we do. We
the
don't.
day the night I found out about Mark's passing, I happened to have ordered a PSA AKV 9mm, and it will forever be called Mark. Mark trusted me to teach his daughters their concealed carry and his wife several years back. They all came to my home, and so I've got to know the family quite a bit, and they really liked that I posted on when they put up his obituary online, and I was like, hey, you know what? This AKV will be called Mark, and he'd love that. Never selling it.
Yep. I agree. I think we've all got a gun named Mark now.
Yep.
I have the special one that's called Mark.
Yeah.
It's the Mark III.
It's the Marky Mark.
It's the Mark
It's the Marky
III.
Mark. Oh, even better.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah, the viewing last night and or 2 nights ago, and the funeral yesterday. So we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. Okay, so I've done quite a bit of stuff with guns.
What?
And bullets.
7 days?
And,
He's gonna take up the
Shut
rest of the
the
yeah,
time.
no, I'm
Not
gonna
talk.
try and keep it pretty concise.
Skip ahead
though.
to 12:17.
Okay, so I brought this one for show and tell.
That
this
looks
is-
great.
Wow, the
Yeah.
listeners love
I know.
So awesome.
As I can
Purple and pink?
describe, yes,
It's the sultry feel of this.
pump action, a Troy pump action
Tell
AR.
us how the trigger pull feels.
Yes, it's got a
Yeah, do the
It's got a little
trigger
happy
pull.
tree right there.
It's a pump.
Yeah, so it has a lock on it, like a pump shotgun, so that it doesn't like accidentally come undone after you pumped it.
Yeah.
So it's just right below, like
Where is
It's in
it?
the trigger guard.
Yeah, show the
trigger
listeners.
guard. Yeah,
Oh, it's in the trigger.
yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. It's kind of cool, huh?
It is.
So, yeah.
If you're familiar with a pump. You can unlock it if it's.
So
there's
this
nothing
one
changed.
was purchased. Actually, it wasn't purchased. Wyatt let me borrow
was
it
stolen.
for like a year.
Let
Wyatt,
him borrow. He
yeah.
has since modified it.
Yes, reduce
Wyatt-
the value. It's the receiver is not as factory anymore.
It's Wyatt from Gunny's.
Yes, Wyatt
The
from
Great
Gunny's.
American Gun Store.
Yeah,
We love
best
Gunny's.
gun
Bought
shop.
my first pistol there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, anyways,
Love
this gun originated in, or it originally was
Chambered.
chambered.
in-
That's the right
Let me
word.
help you.
Chambered at
Pruned
223,
the
556.
hedges.
It now
Many
shoots
small
a
villages.
458 caliber bullet.
SOCOM.
So yeah,
Nice.
and in order to change the caliber, then I contacted Tromix, and I told them I needed 2 barrels without the gas port drilled, and 2 bolts, and so one for Al because he wanted to do
Of
the same
course.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. So yeah, it is now a 458 SOCOM pump action AR, and
What a weird gun.
So cool. No, it's
Yeah.
totally cool.
and so yeah,
That's
and it was
bonkers. I mean, if you need to shoot somebody quick in your house and they happen to be wearing level 4 plates, this will work.
and you can do the racking noise, which obviously
And
is.
Joe Biden
right
says
off.
we're scaring them away. Yeah.
And then they're like,
Or
oh, it's
that-
just a shotgun.
Just a
So
little.
the question is, can you put birdshot?
being that
Capsules?
it's yeah, I
Stan,
bet I
that's
could
the
make something like
stupidest
that.
Questions again.
So I bet you I can make something like that where
If anyone could, you could.
yeah,
Taco.
you
What's
can.
the purpose of use of this, though? I mean, because
Okay.
you're racking it, you're taking your
It's 'cause
sights
chicks
off
dig it.
target, it's moving. That's a lot of movement.
Okay.
For such a powerful round.
So here's the question: like, are there any benefits to having a bolt action or break action 300 blackout?
Yes.
Yes.
Gas for especially
So that you
for subsonic.
you can
suppressed.
make lightweight subsonics for planking, and they are insanely quiet. This isn't going to be as insanely quiet, but the 45 caliber subsonics, you can shoot like these 500 grain or 600 grain subsonics.
600.
Yes,
Grain.
I've done that before.
No, no.
Gosh.
600 grain.
Yeah, that's the same bullet weight as about a 50 BMG.
Yeah.
So, but
so
just
cool.
in 45 caliber.
You know, if it hits you, you just kind of picks you up and carries you. Like a train.
Yeah, it gently.
I think
picks
if you
up.
have the
pins you against your drywall.
if you're wearing the,
like
the
Blade
plates, it
staking
will
the
pick you up and
vampire.
throw you.
Yeah.
Probably. No, I don't know.
Your
But
ribcage turns to powder.
yeah. So
Disintegrates.
you could use like air quotes a lightweight bullet, you know, being like a
Give
you
us
know,
the grains on a light-
300 ish, you know, that would be like a
Goodness gracious.
lightweight bullet. So
For
if you're doing
450,
yeah, so you could cycle the action with the pump and do like a Trail Boss 300 grain or 285 grain hollow point, and have it be really quiet, being air quotes really quiet because it's going to be a lot quiet or a lot louder than a 300 blackout, but they're still pretty fun. I think we went and shot my suppressed 4570 shooting those.
yes.
Mark
Is
went
it-
with us.
Is it that
one
quiet?
time. Yeah.
Well, my
Well,
eardrums aren't bleeding, but they hurt.
No,
It's actually really very quiet.
it is really quiet with those 45 cal
Then
suppressors.
when it hits the steel, it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that was what I've been working on with Al, and he actually took this like solid round bar of steel and machined a what do you call it?
A lug wrench,
No, something that goes. It screws onto
blue stuff break combs it.
the upper receiver where the barrel nut goes in, and that way we could index it correctly because the gas or the ejection port is at an angle, and so we wanted to open up the ejection port. That's
Oh, I see.
That's why it's kind of shiny right there, because you couldn't eject 458 SOCOM out of that.
Yeah.
But anyways, that was one of the projects we were working on and got it finished.
So the beauty thing is that this is a Troy. I mean, it's purpose built. You can't just use any upper on that lower.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
Those are.
It
it's
is not
proprietary.
compatible to any AR-15 parts except the barrel,
Trigger group.
the trigger group,
Bolt.
the bolt, but the firing pin is longer, and
Does it have
the
a
cam
gas?
pin is compatible.
Does it have the gas tube on top still?
So
Or is
the
that
gas
removed?
key is
gas key,
kind of a
yeah.
modified bolt carrier group. It's cut short at an
I see.
angle,
Okay.
and then it connects to a rod that goes to the little pump.
Oh, that's where the
Yeah,
action
so
goes through.
that's how it connects
Nice.
to it connects to that where the gas
The gas key would have
key
been.
would be.
Cool.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Do you feel safer?
I do. So anyways,
That's all Democrats are worried about. They just want you
Yeah.
to feel safer.
Yeah.
so it's kind of a cool gun,
So it's a Troy. In case
Yeah.
somebody wants to look it up, Troy. What model? is it?
PAR, like the pump action.
PAR.
So basically,
Nice.
you
Pump
can
AR.
make rabbit farts with this, is what you're saying.
I can make I would call them maybe like rhino farts or
Yeah.
something. I don't know. So
Very
the
cool.
300 blackout ones, the lightweight bullets were nicknamed the bunny farts, bunny fart loads. This would be like a rhino
A
fart. or
rhino
something.
fart.
I don't know.
Dino fart.
Dino fart. I think the dino fart was the 50 cal
Stan does those.
suppressed
Yeah.
cartridge that I was playing around with. But yeah.
Very cool.
Anyways.
Well
so,
done. Well done.
Yeah. Okay. And in my hand.
Oh, you're still going.
Yeah,
For the-
sorry.
for the
there's
listeners,
I
again.
do lots of stuff. So I had this thing that looks like I don't know, some chunk of metal. It is a chunk of metal. But what I had made, I worked with Al to get this. What would you call it?
Angular pipe bomb?
Yeah. No. It's a Hornady bushing wrench. And what it is,
Custom made.
Custom made. So what we did is we took one of the die bushings for a lock and load press, and we welded it to just a steel pipe.
And
or
when you
solid
say
bar.
we, you mean Al.
I mean, I told Al what to do, and he made sure that it got done.
That Al's a handy guy to have.
He is a very
He
handy
is.
guy. Yeah.
So that's so you can swap your dies out real quick?
So this is to repair a Hornady press that uses the lock and load bushings, and it's the actual press bushing, so the part that is not really user serviceable. But I was looking at my dies weren't locking up nice and tight in a couple of the stations, and I've had this lock and load press for like forever. Like it's loaded probably like over 100,000 rounds of ammo. And I looked at the bottom of the bushing inside the press, and it had some chipped locking lugs. And that's why it was kind of like flexing or lifting up a little bit when I was
That's
reloading.
a lot of hammering to get that.
That would be and I don't know what would have caused that other than maybe if a couple of the lugs were out of spec maybe.
Over exuberance.
Or when I had
you're
the
very
youth
vigorous.
over and
Didn't
they're
Tom
slamming that.
have access to your press at any
Yeah.
point?
Well, it is funny because we were talking about this before the podcast.
I load very vigorously.
When you have the youth loading on a press, you always have to tell them not to like slam the handle down.
yeah.
It's like no, it's a smooth motion.
I'm getting flashbacks
Yeah.
already, yeah.
So maybe it was something like that, but
As he
But
throws
enough
it across the room.
repetitive.
yeah.
That'd be-
So I'll probably have a video out showing just how to take
to
these
weld
out.
them.
Probably has nothing to do with the millions of rounds that you've loaded.
Yeah.
So I do have one question.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Here we go.
All right. Everybody's on the edge of their seat.
It better not suck.
Bated breath.
Could Al have used any heavier steel on that?
Oh, that's such a bad question. Oh,
It is heavy. What is it, like an inch thick?
Inch and a quarter solid
Yeah,
steel
solid
bar.
steel like bar.
fool.
Use that secondarily to take lug nuts off
Oh, totally.
the truck you drive for UPS.
Yeah. So I did have another idea for making something similar, and I told my son, he's doing like a welding or metal shop class.
Yeah.
I told him to get we could get these bushings and put like a what do you call those?
Blue stuff goes in.
So
I want more gun talk.
sorry. Okay. Anyways, but to make a quick, easy thing to take out.
So you can service your press
your
by
Hornady,
yourself,
lock and load,
sending it in
whatever,
and
yeah,
all that.
Yeah.
And Hornady's gonna send you the pieces you need.
Yeah, so I contacted them, their warranty support, and they sent me everything for free. So it's
Awesome.
like 5 of the press bushings and a couple other die parts that I told them were broken.
Nice.
So
So Hornady's great. Their support is awesome.
you will have a video of this on Full.Lead.Taco.
Yeah, probably on Rumble
I
also.
was gonna say, I just started switching to Rumble.
Yeah,
Sick of
they've
YouTube.
they've actually came out with their latest changes of YouTube rules, and I think if you mount a scope, then that's
You're a terrorist.
you're a terrorist,
gosh.
and
You're
they can
inciting
delete your
violence.
video. Yeah, and then if you put a suppressor on, you're a terrorist, and so they're gonna
Maybe
delete
you
your
could probably
video.
they'd probably allow it if you like molested a child or something while you were doing it.
Yeah, that would be acceptable.
As long as you're fashioning, like showing some Balenciaga clothing too at the same time,
There you
like,
go. See?
Yeah.
With a multicolored rainbow flag. in
and
the
blood
background.
dripping
And blood.
along the walls.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Then it'd be fine.
But anyways, also I went
And
to
this
Harbor
podcast
Freight
got taken down.
and I bought a little engraver for like $9, and I got a bunch of.
Sure, it's top quality.
Are
It
you
actually is
still-
pretty good. So I got a bunch of unmarked molds from Al, the steel molds that were
They
out
had
of spec.
Issues with.
Yeah, and just got a small box of them, and he told me I could have them, and so I've been casting with all those molds and trying to find the imperfections, like if they cast too small or too large, and some of those things are fixable by if it casts too large, then you just size the bullet down, or you can
I
use
wish you
different
had your
alloys.
spare time.
Gosh.
I don't
Yeah.
know. You have time to do all that stuff.
Yeah,
That's
it's-
awesome.
Well, when you're not in the truck all day, and night,
Yeah.
then
yeah.
it
Life
helps.
choices, people.
Yeah.
Choices mean,
Get an edumacation.
yeah.
Yeah, so I've been busy doing a bunch of testing on those molds, and then engraving my findings, like the size, the style, everything.
You
So
have
then-
nice penmanship, may I say.
It's not bad for like a
wanna see-
vibrating little tip that's like
Which
like
that
a,
reminds me, I still got to talk to you because I also got a that's 4570 trapdoor rifle.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
We need to do some loads for that.
Got to be.
You should
Got to be
come-
lead.
Yeah.
Got to be loaded the old way, not the new stuff. It's got to be old stuff,
Yeah,
but still awesome.
and you can meet us here sometime.
If only I knew someone that casted the lead.
Yeah, here at the NOE casting room.
We call it
could
the
do that.
foundry.
The foundry?
The NOE foundry.
Yeah. So, anyways, did a bunch of other stuff, but
Ricky,
yeah.
do you remember what you did with guns after all that?
I don't like going.
He just woke up.
I don't like going after Taco. Nothing I could
I
have
thought all your
done.
guns were lost in an unfortunate flooding accident.
Yeah.
Right,
it's
I've
without
been
the
trying
bow.
to replace them. I actually got a PDP as well, like a week ago. It's
Nice.
another soulless gun, I'm sure, according to some of these guys in this room.
They are soulless
It's a pretty sweet gun.
until you inject some soul into it
It,
somehow.
it feels like a part of my arm though. Like I hate how ergonomic it is.
Yeah,
It sucks, and the trigger's glorious.
the triggers are
But
very
now that
nice.
you've named
in
it, you
those.
can't sell it.
Oh no, that one's not marked. This is marked.
Oh, that's
The
okay.
AKV
okay,
is marked.
different one.
Yeah, the PDP was.
That's about all I did.
Okay.
Wait, you lost guns? That's it?
No.
Oh no, you
I
bought
acquired
a PDP.
replacing
okay.
guns.
Lost
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
What
yeah.
color combo did you get?
Just black.
Black. Oh.
Yeah. It's a soulless gun, so it's black.
Mine's gray.
Did you, how did insurance treat you on any of those? Any kind of recovery whatsoever
The guns?
on any guns that you lost?
Oh, heavens, no.
No?
They gave me
No.
the bird.
Oh,
I got nothing.
Well, I don't know what insurance should...
it's
Well,
you
if
have
they
to
would
have-
have been if it wasn't flood. In Utah, like, no one has flood insurance. So since I lost it all, they were going to cover it all. I was
Would it
gonna-
be through your homeowner's insurance?
Yeah, it would have been through home, but as soon as they're like, oh, a
Flood.
flood? Oh, yeah, no, you don't have coverage.
I thought we were joking about this. I think you actually lost him.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I lost like
You didn't-
15 grand worth of
Oh
guns.
gosh.
Flash flood in the Capitol Reef.
No,
Along with his
took his
pickup.
that
truck.
hurts
Yeah.
to hear.
He's got
Yeah.
a video of his truck going down
Yeah, he lost his truck
down
and
the
his guns.
down the
I
road
almost died,
that turned
Carl.
into a river.
He almost died, Carl.
You take a nap. You take a nap for just a little bit, and all this stuff happens. You guys all grow up and get old.
It's
And
the
almost
Matrix,
died.
Carl. They just turned you off. That's all it was.
Hey, well, technically, I'm younger now. Time froze. See,
I don't know if it
how
works
that
that
works.
way.
I think it's pretty much time travel. is what
That's
it-
funny because you look 10 years older.
I feel like crap. I feel like I got molested by a bear. But hey,
All right.
on that note,
So that's it? We're letting him off with just that?
Yeah.
With just the hey, you didn't have much yourself.
after
yeah.
tacos, everything seems.
Yeah, no, that's the thing, is I have nothing compared to that.
You make us feel small and insignificant.
Let's move on.
What about
Let's-
Jason? Oh, or did you
I
start?
started.
Oh, sorry.
It was so long.
I
ago.
forgot.
We want to share stories about Mark today and what an awesome guy he was, and I think we've all got unique experiences that we had with him that we can share. I know for me, I think Ricky, you probably knew him the longest because you were his next door neighbor for many years.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think I probably knew him longer than you guys.
You probably
I
knew him longer
introduced-
than me, time-wise.
Oh, really?
When did you get to know him?
Oh, it was probably 12 years ago.
Yeah, I moved in next to him 2013.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Woo, I'm the winner.
We did Gun Dudes. We started that in 2008.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
so.
He didn't start Magholder till like 2012, 2011.
So Mark contacted
I guess it
me
was.
because he'd been listening to the Gun Dudes and had heard me on the Gun Dudes and said, "Hey, I've got this product idea. I want to run it by you and see what you think." And I mean, I didn't know who he was, never met him before. I'm working out of my crappy shed in the back of my house, you know.
That was crappy.
It was.
You had a pizza
It
oven.
was like a beaver lodge.
That was really cool.
Until it self-destructed. It was
Until
cool.
that, yeah.
exploded.
Anyway, so he calls me. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to help this guy. I don't know why he's calling me, but he comes over and he's showing me. He had mocked up in Kydex a mag holder, horizontal mag carrier, and I'm looking at it. and I'm like, wow, this is really nice, you know.
Was this
and
with the rivets?
uh-huh.
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah.
I have one.
An OG.
With the rivets.
And what is funny about this is I had a prototype of a horizontal mag carrier sitting on my bench that I had been working on.
What?
And I looked at his, and I picked up mine, and I showed it to him. I'm like, oh, this is what I've been working on. He's like, oh, nice. And I threw mine in the garbage. And I said, how can I help you? You know, and he's like, well, he wanted like marketing help, which I'm like, I'm the worst marketer ever. I just stumbled into you guys, and you guys marketed me and got me going. But I'm like, I will help you in any way that I can, Mark. And I said, all I want. And he's like, you know, I can pay you a consulting fee and this and that. I'm like, Mark, all I really want out of it, I said, when these go to market, I want the best price on them. And that's what I still have the best price. When he was selling them to Sportsman's Warehouse and everything, I don't know how many he sold to them, but I was getting a better price than they were, which made me happy.
There you go.
So
That's
that
cool.
that was my first experience with Mark, and I knew right off the bat with Mark that he was different. Mark is one of the smartest guys I ever met.
Agreed.
And
Yeah.
Way smarter than Carl.
well,
Like 3 of me.
that ant crawling across the floor right now.
You guys know I'm still here. Oh. Did I die? I've seen this movie.
Anyway, super smart, and he was awesome. We bounced ideas off each other all the time. It was great when he'd come to the shop and we'd sit and kick around ideas. Oh, hey, I was working on this. What do you think? And that's something I'm going to miss very much about not having him around.
Mark was fun. He was a Renaissance man. For some reason, Gun Dudes attracted Renaissance men. These guys that can do everything, jack of all trades.
Thank you for
Master of
saying that.
none.
What's that?
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, but no, it really does. You guys are all, it freaks us out. But it's also nice because we had fun. We didn't give
Yeah.
a crap about we never monetized anything. We just didn't care.
I tried to help you.
I know.
Everybody tried to help them.
Everyone
They
did,
were
but
beyond
we didn't
help.
care.
I got them sponsors
Yeah.
towards the end.
And we would just sit there and just go, I don't care. Mark always kept
If
trying
we'd
to.
have figured out Patreon, we might have made some money on it.
Yeah, but we didn't. I mean,
It wasn't there yet. So
it was, and we're too old. We have no education.
Well, and you're making your millions with UPS.
Yeah,
anyway.
really. Well, no, you got
Carl has his OnlyFans account.
Yeah, but we don't talk about the Carl cam. That's while I'm sleeping in the back, Stan's driving, and he's just what? And I'd wake,
we're not together anymore. We're not affiliated.
You've broken up?
I would wake up and I'm like, why is there string all over me? Was I a puppet? Cruise control. That's all I'm saying. It's a bad thing.
Carl, why don't you share some Mark? Man?
Yeah, that's right.
Let's get you back on track here,
That's
buddy.
what we're here for.
Anyway.
Not the darkness with Stan.
I'm just no. There's a lot more jokes. The thing that was fun was like Mark. because I love 1911s. Mark loves 1911s.
Yeah.
And he would always like, here, let me see yours. I'm like, why? What's up? And he'd just take it and he'd start filing on something. And I go, what are you? Oh, okay. And then all of a sudden that sucker was slick. He just made it so it was slicker than snot. It was great. He just loved, and he loved doing that for other people. That's
Yeah.
what was fun.
And he was an absolute student of everything.
Oh,
Every
yeah.
interest he had, he went in deep.
Yep.
And got into the science behind it and the nitty gritty and yeah.
I love what his daughter said. Yeah, I think it was Natasha said yesterday. Of he knew random facts about just pretty much
About
everything.
it. That's exactly right.
A normal conversation with Mark.
It's like you bring up some.
It was a fascinating comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you know that?
Yeah.
Well, the owl actually has it's the quietest. You're like, what?
It doesn't make any noise.
No.
It swoops in to kill a mouse.
Well, and what's funny is if you listen to the episodes that Mark was on, he would make a joke or make a comment, and it was always kind of in the back.
Yeah.
And it would just go over everybody's head. It's like,
Well,
You
it
know,
would go
last
over
episode-
mine and your head
okay.
for sure.
Yeah, it was like,
He had all these like pop culture
Yeah.
Well,
reference. Like
yeah.
you would get it, Stan.
But he
True.
could get
He was a little older too.
He was like that with everything, though. It was he'd know a little bit about
I'm older
what you
than
did,
Mark.
what you did. He knows these little bits of random information. He's just smart.
Yeah.
That's what was so cool
But he loved to
because
share it.
I could talk about these like crazy ideas I have with different alloys of lead or like zinc bullets or something,
Yeah.
and he could understand.
Well,
and
the
he
rest of
could-
us are sleeping. You two are actually.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
He could actually talk about those random things.
We're already
of-
phasing out.
Yeah, so it was just one of his abilities was he could get into the nitty gritty on so many things.
But he was also a giver. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The first time I met him, that's how I show up to the podcast. He's there. I'd heard him on a couple episodes, I think, and I'm like, yeah, what'd you do in guns this week? Oh, I bought a new Smith & Wesson Performance Center 1911. And he goes, oh, here you go. I got a 1911 brand new mag holder. Check this out. And I'm like,
He gave all the time.
okay,
Always.
thanks. This
Yeah.
is pretty cool. And yeah. And Ricky yesterday handed me. I ordered the wrong thing off mag holder the other day, and the wrong PDP mag holder. And Ricky showed up, and the funeral services ended, and we're still standing there in the chapel, and Ricky pulls out
Just
the right
carrying on.
one
That's
for
the
me.
Mark way.
You're carrying on.
That's 100%. Like that was full circle for me.
yeah.
That meant so much. Like that was super cool. You're like, I'll send you another one. I'm like, no, I'll order one. I'll get around to ordering the right one. And you brought it yesterday, and you pulled it out. That was so Mark. Like that's how I met him.
Yeah.
I still have that 1911 mag holder. And then he's like, oh, I know you're a Glock guy. We're working on the Glock ones. They're almost there. But I've done 40 iterations, and they're not coming out as they're not clicking in as well as I'd like. They're dropping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you guys ever go
to that,
hawking
to
with
that?
him?
Oh,
Yes.
That was fun.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was
To
gonna
that note, real quick, he was a perfectionist too. I mean, he
Yeah.
was so smart.
Yeah, I'm
so
like 40 iterations. Are you kidding
mag
me? dude? He's
holder,
like, no, seriously.
just
Like,
insane.
Yeah.
The quality. When I was learning mag holders, we were kind of working on the transition. The detail he would show me, that he would go into each and every mag holder, and that he was passing on, that we still try and do, was just insane. That the time he would put into every single mag holder he shipped out.
Yeah.
So, in case, again, latecomers, Ricky sort of took over.
Yeah.
Well, you took over.
Yeah.
not sort of.
Sort of.
He took
you,
over.
you took over.
I've been involved with mag holder since I moved in next to him back in 2013. That's like right when he launched. I'm a marketing e-commerce guy by trade, and so we started talking. I think Shimei was actually kind of the one that was pushing us together when she found out what I did, and obviously knowing where Mark was at. And so I started helping him with his website, and then marketing, and then all that kind of stuff. And so that's been my involvement for the most part for the past 10 years with him. And then as he started to get sick, that's when we worked on a transition for me to take over.
Yeah, we ran banner. As soon as I found out like how great a product was, and Mark was such a giver, I'm like, dude, I share this product in every single one of my classes that I teach. Like, I want everybody using this because spare mags need to be carried. What typically fails on your gun at a self-defense situation? It's your magazine.
Right.
And so it's not the gun. And so you need to have a spare mag. And so I ran banner ads based on Utah Gun Exchange for him for 5 years.
Yeah.
$35 a month. I didn't even charge him. I'm like, I know next time I see you, Mark, you're gonna throw another mag
I know,
holder at me,
that's-
and I'm gonna feel guilty. So let's just run banner space. And
He would always like, hey, I got to pay you for something. Like, oh, okay, yeah. And we just
you
didn't
have to
care.
pay me for anything, dude.
Like, how about we go shooting instead? Let's just go have fun. We didn't care.
Yeah.
I remember when he brought his medical instrument.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the best part about it was, it's a microwave with
With a probe.
with
Yeah.
a probe. It's an antenna, he said.
Yeah.
And they can attenuate it so the energy is
Yeah.
focused in one area.
They would
And Mark
they'd
assisted
The
in-
ablation.
Yeah.
yeah, assisted in surgery. With that.
they'd stick that into
Into the
tumor
tumor.
and microwave it from the inside, and it would shrink it.
And so he could get to places where heretofore the radiologists couldn't.
Right.
And he had great
Well,
success.
they could. It was just like a blanket
Yes.
Yeah.
radiation
This was-
blast.
This
That
was
was
like
his-
a scalpel.
It might keep
That was
growing.
his passion was helping people with that. Knowing
Yeah.
he was
Yeah.
doing that.
So he fought cancer, really.
So
Yeah.
small
And-
world. My brother-in-law has colon cancer, and it's obviously metastasized all through his body. He's been going through it for 12 years or so. And anyways, Mark treated him multiple times randomly, not through connections with me. We made the connection after my sister, connected with him,
Yeah.
talked to him. But he developed, and pushing even further who Mark was, he developed a relationship with the people he helped, even though he was more of he handed
was
the
a
tools to the
technician.
doctor, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He still developed a relationship with the people he helped.
Well,
Pretty
and
amazing.
the cool thing about that is not only does it kill tumors, but turns out that it'll cook little smokies.
That's right.
Yeah, so he brought it
Oh,
down.
he did?
Yeah, I'm in Carl's basement
We were
one day, and
recording, yeah.
we stuck little smokies on it.
It made the reloading
Tumor-esque size, pretty close to something. They were delicious.
The only thing that was disturbing is the probe was a little gooey before he put it into the first little smoky.
No, he sanitized it. And if he didn't, it was cooked afterwards.
Is that
so it
why he
doesn't
was
matter.
putting it in his mouth to
Something
clean it
like
off?
He wiped it off on his pants.
Anyway, it was really cool. And
Yeah,
and he shared that
brings
with us.
So he-
$1 million machine to the podcast to cook
to
little
cook little
Like that,
smokies.
though. That's just it. He
We were
just like,
disseminating information. That's
He
what we were
loved
doing.
the science behind it. He's
Yeah.
like, guys, watch, this is so cool.
Yeah.
And we're like,
But
really?
it was.
That's exactly what he would say.
If you
This is
think
Yeah.
about
cool.
it, to be able to focus the energy in one location
Yeah.
on that antenna, basically, that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Do you think he
it
was in the surgeries with gunpowder on him just to put a little bit inside each person?
I
Just
do have
sprinkle a little bit. It's good for you.
I do have one personal story about Mark, and it was we were talking to Discount Guns and Ammo. Norvin, remember him?
Yep.
And it's when I first met Mark, and we'd done the podcast for a few years. And I was talking with Norvin, and this guy kind of walked by. Then he walked by again, and I could see him out of the kind of corner of my eye.
You're used to stalkers.
Yeah, I guess.
Is that Stan?
But he walked by again. He goes, "Excuse me, are you Stan of the Gun Dude?" And I went, "Yeah."
I don't know. Who are
It
you?
turned out it wasn't scary at all, and he was totally normal.
And Mark's down to it. He's in his Speedo already.
No, but it was totally cool, and we had a totally cool conversation, and that's where I met him. But it was it was the first time that happened.
But by the way,
Yeah.
when we visited Mark, dying on his deathbed, we're laughing like this the whole time.
Yeah.
We were joking nonstop.
And he could hardly even move. He could move his eyes and he could lift his arms a little bit.
Yeah, barely.
But all of a sudden his respirator's like and his eyes are closed and you're like, he is laughing uncontrollably. There's a few times I'm like, okay, we gotta stop. He's gonna
Don't kill
die.
Mark.
We're gonna
I
kill
was
him
worried
right
about
now.
talking to him for a long time. Then I was like, I don't care. Dude, dying's great. Mark, you're going to love it. It's great.
Yeah.
And he just started laughing. First thing I said when I walked in was, dude, you look like crap.
Yeah.
You look like garbage, man. And he just laughed.
It's
But-
true. It's true. And at the viewing, Taco and I were talking to his wife Shimei, and she mentioned that visit from the four of us there and talking to him, and especially you, Carl, sharing your experience with COVID, because you're in basically the same boat. You can't
I actually
react.
avoided him.
You can't respond.
Yeah,
And
I avoided him because of that. Like, it took me a
Yeah.
long time to go visit him. Not only because I'm worried about do I still have COVID? Because it
Right.
stays with you. So I was like, I'm not going near him. If he's immune
Right,
compromised,
compromised.
I avoided everybody. But
But she said he was a different person after that visit. That
well, that'll ruin a lot of people.
The stories,
You don't come back to that.
that you shared.
There's some things,
Scarring. It runs deep.
The stories that you shared
His eyes
and your
still work. You
experience
can see
with
color.
near death and all of that put him at ease. And she said, for the days after after that visit, he just talked about that nonstop.
Oh, it was fun.
And it totally changed his just how he was.
It was good to see him.
It was.
I
That
did
was-
too. I was so worried
Thanks for
about
the phone call.
I was actually planning on visiting.
I didn't say turds.
This last
I said turds. turds.
I was planning on visiting him this last Friday because that's when I was on vacation, and then stuff happened that I'm like, Stan, we gotta go. We gotta go visit. Stan's like, I set it up already. We're going. So luckily we did, and then right after that was when he passed.
Yeah. It was the next day.
That's what we're saying, but no, it was like a week and a half. Still, I think seeing us would kill anybody.
Actually, Shemay had mentioned that it seemed to me like he'd gotten a little better, but she had mentioned that they had a doctor's appointment set for April.
Yeah.
So they kind of expected him to make it that long. He seemed better from the first time.
Yeah.
But
the appointments before that, they were like, he's probably not going to make it through August.
They didn't think he'd make it past, I thought, June or July.
Yeah.
Things were pretty dicey. back
ALS, there is nothing for that, is there?
No.
MLS, there is. Medicine.
Major League Soccer?
MLS?
then. MS.
MS, thank you. Yeah. Well, that's
There is no cure for Major League Soccer.
I've got a friend lives right next to me. He's got MS. And that's why I was worried about visiting Mark, too, because he's immune compromised because of it.
But
Your
MS is
neighbor.
not contagious.
No, but because I had
think.
COVID.
Am I right? Dumb
Because
question.
when you're a long hauler, it doesn't really leave your body. You're still fighting something. So I can't go see him either because he's paranoid about it. But
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, do they just,
I go off what
I'm
everyone
about to
tells
call the
Dr. Fauci
BS card on that.
were the doctors telling you that?
Are you
I
getting,
think it's just an excuse.
are you
No,
getting
like-
your information from Fauci?
Yeah, what
I-
did Anthony Fauci say about
which
that?
part are
Yeah,
you talking
did he
about?
touch you?
Because from what I understand,
I think your
COVID-
neighbor's like, fine, they have any excuse. Carl, you can't come
can't
over
come over.
anymore.
You still have COVID.
it's just because I stopped wearing deodorant. I'm natural now.
That'll do it.
Yeah. No, Are you asking about my thing or
No,
their
I'm
thing?
saying COVID doesn't just stick with you and you're
No,
contagious
the
forever.
long haulers, your body, you get these. It's an autoimmune response.
Where's
that you
my
think
phone?
you're fighting something. So the long haulers, it's like it's not out of your system
yeah,
for some reason.
but you're not contagious.
no, but keep in mind
Because if you were, you'd have to wear a mask all the time.
Because otherwise you'd be
You
like
should be wearing
spreading
a mask.
constant
COVID
mask.
to like Nick for the 5th time.
I have
You've
a punch
had it-
card.
Nick, you've had
time
it a
is
lot.
free.
Doctors still don't know how to deal with COVID, do they?
No.
That's why. Is they're just like
Because we haven't put any resources to it. I mean, we're getting sidebarred here, but yeah, we haven't put resources to actually treating COVID. We spent all this time on the vaccine instead of
matter of fact,
treating it.
across
How
the
to
country,
not talk about it
I
and
take a little
censor
pride in
everything
that.
about it.
Across the country, I'm in that top almost 0% where I'm recovering great, and other people that didn't even go as low as I did still aren't. I'm working. I'm doing really well. So just little things, treating it like that, But that's why I was worried about visiting.
I
Mark.
think you should put on a cloth mask and then you can go visit.
Cloth masks don't work, Stan.
Because that will cover.
It don't work.
Well, Shemay did make me feel a little bit better at the viewing. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
She goes, he didn't want anyone to know.
Yeah.
She's like, we kept this so tight-lipped.
When I
really
went
did.
out, we didn't know yet. Like when I went for my little brief nap, he didn't know that he had ALS yet.
Well, he hadn't told
Yeah,
us
he hadn't
yet.
told.
Or
He
he
did.
hadn't told us
He-
yet.
He knew.
So he did know.
Yeah.
Yeah, he let us
That was
know.
when? 2021,
remember.
right?
That's when I was out. Yeah.
He knew by the end of 2020.
Yeah.
Beginning of
Oh
2021.
wow! So he kept that quiet.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
I found out end of 2020.
Wow.
He was he was pretty private about stuff.
That's one of the
Which
jokes I
sucks.
told him too.
He's like, he was so knowledgeable on so much shit.
I know.
Like, man.
shared it. Well, he did share it. That's just
He
it.
did, yeah.
I mean, my kids loved him. Hey, is he going to bring his hawks again?
Yeah.
They loved that.
We should talk about
Do
that.
you remember when he
Hawk.
brought it down one? He's like, yeah, I climbed up into a nest and I
Yes.
stole an egg.
Yeah.
And I'm
That was
hatching
his
this one. and
falcon, I
He
think.
brought it into Kenny's
That's
basement.
right, Falcon.
Yeah.
And like midway through the podcast, he just pulls a mouse out that he'd been thawing in his pocket and starts feeding the bird.
We're like, holy crap! What are you doing?
What's going on?
It was cool.
So
okay.
I had him when I was
Kenny
working
loved it. I
with the
remember that.
with the scouts.
Oh, yeah.
We went out to the point of the mountain when he had his falcon, and it was young, and it had never taken any live
No kidding.
food
It
yet.
had never taken a life.
It had never taken a life
That
yet.
wasn't frozen.
So
first.
we're out there, and he releases
Is
this
that
thing.
a frozen mouse in your pocket, or you just have
You're leaking.
And this thing is like so far up in the sky, you can barely see a dot where it was. And all of a sudden, and he's wearing his hunting vest that he would wear when he's out falconing and stuff. And he reaches in the back pocket and he pulls out this pigeon. And he throws this pigeon up in the air. And that falcon, thanks, Stan, you could see it just do like a 180. Whoop, and it just zeroed in on that thing. It hit that bird so hard, and it was like right in front of the boys. Like, I'm talking maybe 50 yards in front of them. Boom! Feathers go everywhere.
awesome.
It lands on the ground. It wasn't a clean kill. It didn't stay on it. And so I have this picture of the boys, the pigeon's on the ground, the bird's a little ways away from it, and it goes after it again, and the pigeon takes off flying. And I got pictures of boys like running. Ah! And this falcon grabbing this pigeon, and it was pretty awesome.
Ripping its head back and just tearing its claws
Right
across.
out.
Yeah.
It was so cool. And that, I
Murdering
mean,
it.
Mark, I think that's when he was the happiest, when he was sharing that passion that he had with other people. But it was really cool. I went out with him a few other times
When he
with
had
his
the,
other.
the dog and the hawk
hawk.
together, because he trained him so like the dog would corral, and then if the rabbit got away, the dog would go after it. But if when the hawk hit it, it was the hawk.
Paisley would scare the rabbits up out of the bushes, and then the hawk would take them out.
I mean, it was like they were they were trained together.
They were.
It was so cool to see.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was a ton of fun. So at that meeting, he told all of those boys, he said, any of you who gets your Eagle Scout, he's like, let me know. I will bring a golden eagle to your court of honor. And I think my son was the only one that took him up on that. And it was the same golden eagle that was at the burial yesterday.
So his mentor Martin was
Yeah.
there yesterday.
That
And
thing is huge.
And he had
Absolutely
They
huge.
took photos in front of the casket with it. And
Beautiful.
brought it back to the church.
Yeah.
Gorgeous bird.
But anyway, it was
But the girls,
super cool.
as at the gravesite, had 2 homing pigeons.
Yeah.
And Martin had brought with him from
The eagle was
Cedar
just
City.
he's just
Well, Martin had the eagle,
We
and
were
we're
waiting.
like, this could be awesome.
blood spilled at a burial? I love it.
This is what Mark would want.
Yeah. You know what? Mark
he
would have
would.
loved it if
Oh,
that
yeah.
eagle would have taken those down.
Tasha and Sarah are holding these birds, and they're like, saying a couple words, and they gave the birds kisses and gave, wishes with it.
Peace for
And they let it go,
everyone.
and I'm like, come on.
Let the bird go.
Yeah. I'm like, Martin, let him go.
The eagle's just like, I could take them.
But those pigeons, took right back off to Cedar City.
They were.
Oh, homing pigeons.
Yeah.
They were. I
Oh,
think.
those are where Martin's from.
Yeah.
I think they're
he's got a
doves
wildlife
because
refuge
they were
down
pure white.
No, they were pigeons.
Were they pigeons?
Yeah,
they're white
Okay, I
pigeons.
didn't know pigeons came.
There
in
is no
pure white.
homing dove.
They have
But-
Taste your
multicolored.
idea.
But they said that these pigeons came from the same
Lineage.
stock, same lineage as the ones that they released at the
I thought you were gonna say
LA
it.
Olympics.
Like the
That's the one
1980 LA Olympics.
Yeah.
They were descendants.
Descendants.
Of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, really gonna head back to Cedar, and sure enough, man,
They like it was
Yeah.
like a beeline. It was like
Straight.
Well, yeah,
The two of them.
if there's an eagle
in the
right there.
direction.
They had a little extra motivation.
I'm surprised they didn't walk. I was like, no, I'll just do it like this.
They saw the tether.
Casually trying to whistle with those.
Well, the
beats.
eagle's name is Scout.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
cool.
ironically enough. But.
I went probably half a dozen times as well with our different young men groups in the ward the neighborhood that Mark lived in, and then also in our new neighborhood. And once again, we've talked about the knowledge that he shared about everything that was going, even from when he harvested a rabbit. Excuse me, and he's
coughing on that.
That's really rude.
You spread your COVID to him. Come on, Carl.
I can feel it, my lungs.
Spike protein.
Even as he was like dissecting a rabbit and telling why he was grabbing different pieces, giving some to the bird, and then holding some in a plastic baggie. I don't know, just everything.
Yeah.
Everything was an education, and the boys. They're what now? Some of them in the Lehigh neighborhood are young, or they're adults now, and they
Yeah.
still talk about it. I still talk to them. And
My son's married and has 2 kids.
oh, it's your oldest.
And he was there when with the Falcon.
Okay.
Yeah. I was gonna say one of the times, like he took me and Jason with Ava.
Yeah.
was his
Yeah,
hawk.
Ava was awesome.
And you made a video of it,
And
which
and I
was
did make a
awesome.
video, and it's kind of like a little pseudo documentary.
That's on your YouTube channel.
It's on my YouTube channel, and I rewatched that video, and it was cool to see Mark in his element with,
Yeah.
I would say, one of his favorite birds.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
Ava was he was really close to that bird. And
He got really attached to all of his birds.
yeah, but we in kind of semi documentary form, like you and I are asking him all these questions. He's
Yeah.
answering. He's got his humor too,
Yeah.
and it was really cool footage of just seeing Mark doing what he loved doing,
Yeah.
and
He was also a very avid fly fisherman and tenkara fly fishing, which I've taken up recently.
Tenkara.
You don't have to make up
It's a
words.
Japanese.
We
It's a
believe.
Japanese style of fly fishing.
my
There's no
brother
reel.
says
No,
that
you're
it's-
saying it wrong. Stan?
Tenkara.
my brother says it's the fly
Not this
fishing
guy.
for people who don't do real fly fishing.
It's true. It's there's no reel. The line's just attached to the end.
That's how my son does it.
The rod
Every time
and
he gets
Like
finds
Huck
some-
Finn type.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
it
It's
doesn't
very
catch anything.
It's
Or,
very
as
effective.
we say,
dude, I've
tenkara.
killed it with the tank. I've never
Actually, for certain holes, you can swing it out over,
Yep.
especially if there's a bank and you can.
But anyway, Mark was really big into tenkara fishing, and we talked all the time. We needed to go, and that is my only regret is we never did go.
I never got called to go.
Yeah,
fly
I
fishing.
was never asked about Tenkara.
There's a
That's
reason.
because you're like laying there dead.
Yeah, that's true. That was my turn.
As Mark's marketing and e-com guy over the past 10 years, I don't know how many times I'd be like, we'd have a meeting set up during the week, and I'd go over to his house and like, oh yeah, he's actually hawking or he's fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, we
Oh, he enjoyed it.
Yeah, he was always
had fun.
outdoors.
That's a lesson for all of us. It really is.
Yeah, for sure.
He lived his
Get
life
out.
for sure.
Get out, take someone shooting. Hey.
Or just get out and enjoy your time because it's
Yeah.
short.
Whether you know it or not.
So I have a question for everybody.
I am 5'6".
And he's married.
Not
Jason.
anymore.
I'm
married.
a Pisces.
He's got a wife and kids
I like
already.
walks on the beach.
Who knows where the promo code "Get in the Van, I Have Candy" came from?
That was Mark.
I know it was Mark, but what inspired it?
I thought it weird. I don't know.
No idea.
You were there.
I was there. He just
I
came
will
out.
tell you, this is classic Mark.
Cast your minds, if you will.
Yeah.
Set the scene.
We're sitting in a semicircle in the dimly lit
So
room,
there I was.
holding hands and chanting.
I want to kill everyone. You're chanting.
Oh, I had a news story, and this news story was there is this guy impersonating a police officer. He pulls over a white van with no windows that happened to be loaded with a SWAT team.
No way.
And so he goes up to the driver and, pretending to be a cop, driver's license and this and that. When the back doors open and they come out and start to ask him questions. Who exactly are you? And oh crap. And Mark, it was like you saw the light bulb go on over his head and he's like, he starts getting antsy. Oh. He's like, stop. I have the new discount code for mag holder. Get in the van, I have candy. We're like, oh, that is awesome. So that is where that came from, and it's inspired
all the candy codes.
all the candy codes, air candy,
That's
show
what we
me
did
the
the Misfire
candy.
Award.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. So that is, if you're wondering why does mag holder have this creepy discount code?
I'm just upset how long it is. Like it's really, a lot to type.
From a marketing perspective, it's
Can I get-
horrible
yeah,
how long.
Facebook 10.
Is
Can
it
we make it
space?
shorter?
But that's Mark. And Mark is like, yeah, it made no sense. It shouldn't have been effective, but because it was so goofy and because it was Mark and the way it came out, he's like, that's been the most successful discount code I've ever launched.
But it's so easy to remember.
right.
That and how deep is your love?
Yeah,
Which
I
I wasn't
remember
there
that
for
one,
that
yeah.
one.
When we left, his house before he died. He played that because he.
Oh yeah, he did.
We're sitting there listening. I was like, "Oh, that's good." And all of a sudden, you hear this.
sad.
How deep is your love? You're like, "Oh my God!" She played us out with "How deep is your love."
So also, and I might have mentioned this before on a different podcast, but Carl and I, you were out. I was with Grammy, and we were in northern South Dakota, southern North Dakota, middle of freaking nowhere. And I'm driving down this 2-lane road.
Oh, that the picture.
And there's a white van.
Oh yeah.
Get in the can, or it says free candy or
free
something
candy,
like that on the side of it. And I locked it up and jumped out and took a picture.
It was
of
like
and sent it to
somebody
Mark.
just took a big house painting paintbrush
Yeah.
and red paint.
Free candy.
Yeah.
I've got that picture.
Yeah, I know. It's,
I got the picture.
I sent it to Mark.
That was my recovery picture.
Yeah.
I started laughing.
I do have one other story from Mark. It was along the lines of him being a giver. Like he listed, I didn't know it was him, but he listed a ton of like quality ammo on Utah Gun Exchange at fire sale prices. And this is, ammo's never been cheap for the last 10 years, right? But he listed all this ammo, 9mm, 308, 5.56, and I didn't know it was him, and I just see this listing, and it was the second listing that had, because it's real time, right? So it was the second one. I immediately start grabbing the number off the classified, and I start to text it, and all of a sudden, Mark Houskeeper shows up in my address book, and I'm like, oh, this is Mark's listing? I'm like, well, I'm calling, because, I'm interested. I want to ammo, and I call him, and I'm like, he goes, holy cow, Nick, I listed that 30 seconds ago. I'm like, I own the website. For this reason. Grab good deals. And he's like, well,
funny.
come on over. And I went over and picked up a ton of ammo from him that day. And I'm like, why? He's like, I just don't need it. I'm good.
Well, he was very
All right,
eclectic.
here's
Sometimes
your money.
he'd be. It's just a mood.
Yeah.
He'd be like, "I'm doing this now. This is what I'm interested in."
Well, and that's when he asked me. He said, I need my wife. I'm like, my girls are almost 21, and Tasha had just about turned 21, and she'd almost served Mark with her adoption papers.
Yeah.
At that point,
cool.
I think Sarah was a couple years later. She did that too, but I had Shimei and the girls over my house and taught them, and that was a little intimidating teaching Mark, Mr. I know everything, and teaching the three of them. But I felt very honored that he was like, Nick, I want you to come teach them.
That's cool.
So
awesome.
That's awesome.
that's why Shimei was like, sorry, Nick, we didn't tell you. We kept this under wraps.
Yeah. Which, he was not the type of person that wanted attention drawn to him, especially
that
like
condition.
pity attention.
Which we would never have given him.
We would have
Ridicule and
Oh, you feel a little tired?
jokes about his tank treads.
That is true.
Stephen Hawking jokes would not have ended at all. That's yep.
So the how deep is your love? I wasn't there when you guys were recording and he came up with that discount code.
Kenny loved that. Every time he'd bring it up.
But here's what's funny is how powerful these codes came up that he put out that people wanted to use them. I was getting people asking, "Hey, you got an email? I'm placing an order, but the code "How deep is your love" isn't working."
You're like, wrong product.
I'm like, what the crap is that? I'm like, I hadn't even heard the
You hadn't put it in
podcast.
yet, yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I still haven't ever used it. Maybe I, in honor of Mark, that will be my new discount code. I don't know, but yeah.
How deep is your
I'm like, how? I'm like, that's kind of creepy. I don't even know what that means. I wasn't familiar with the song, I'm like,
If we ever have to go to court for anything on this, they're gonna look at it and go, "Yeah, we're locking you up.
This is premeditated.
Get in the van. I have candy.
how deep
Okay,
is your
yeah.
love?
This is a open shut case.
For sure.
Anyway,
Yeah,
that's about,
that's all I got. I mean, there's more. Talking about Mark is fun.
We're gonna walk away from this and be like, oh, I should have told him about this time.
Well, there's so much to talk about. A guy like Mark, we loved him to death.
I'm glad he interrupted all of our lives.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Way to put it.
Yeah. He was just a kind person. I was telling, I can't remember who it was. I was talking with somebody at the funeral or the viewing. And I said, here's kind of the big difference between like me and Mark is we'd be out together doing something or whatever. Let's say Taco trips and falls on his face. I would point and laugh. And Mark would be, "Are you okay? Can I help you up?" That's the difference. That's the type of person Mark was. Since knowing Mark, I have tried to pattern my life a little bit more like that, to be a little bit more caring, a little more observant of people who are maybe having a bad day and trying to lift them and make things better, because that's the way Mark was. And I hope most of you people listening to this never got the pleasure of being around him or knowing him, but that's, if you want to remember Mark, start being more like him.
The way that his daughters talked about him have always talked about him.
Yeah.
And they're not his biological daughters, but
Right.
that guy busted his ass for those girls.
Yeah, he was a good dad for him.
Adored him.
Absolutely.
I don't think I've ever heard stepkids
Yeah.
talk so glowingly about a stepfather. Like, they that's something to aspire to. I think I admire the hell out of him for.
Living next door to him, I saw a lot of what you're talking about. When we moved in, they were young teenagers, and we saw a lot of the teenager mistakes and lives that they lived, and Mark was a patient.
He bailed
dude,
them out
and
so many times.
He was amazing.
Yeah. He was a real deal.
And what was amazing to me is the few times that we were over there when Mark was in bad shape, is just the absolute care that they took
Yeah.
of
Oh, yeah.
him.
Protective.
Yes.
They were.
They were very protective, not just of his health and his care, but of his dignity as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Taco and I were over there once, and I don't honestly know what happened, what came up, and I think, was it Sarah that was there?
I think so.
And she's like, "Oh, you guys, can you go out of the room for a few minutes? I just have to take care of something." We're like, "Okay." And so we went, sat in the front room, talked for about 10 minutes, and she came back, "Okay, we're all good." I'm like, I don't know what happened, but it was...
It's hard when you can't do anything. You
Yeah.
got people. Granted, the best feeling in the world is when a nurse has to wipe your butt. It is nice. However, it's degrading.
Humiliating.
Anyway,
He
Cleanest
paid it
jo-
forward with those. I mean,
Yeah.
he
yeah.
he wasn't thinking that way
No.
in any shape or form, but
Yeah, but the care that we saw that Shimei and those girls gave to him, and just the love that was there was
Exemplary,
impressive.
for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
So really, him being able to pass was a blessing for the whole
yeah,
family.
Tasha was like, Nick,
Absolutely.
it was...
Yeah. It's so hard.
It had gone on for longer. Like, it was hard on him. It was
Yeah.
hard on us. Like,
Yeah.
it's tough. It
well,
was a
you're
full-time
trapped
gig.
Mentally, he was there.
He was sharp.
He was sharp. He was making jokes. It just
Yeah.
took a lot longer to
get
type with his eyes
Oh,
and
you
have the
see
machine
that?
read. it.
I made
Yeah.
that joke to him because when I first came out of
The closet?
the closet.
He almost died, Nick.
Yeah.
You know that.
Well, no, like when I first woke up, I lost 100 pounds, so I couldn't move, I couldn't talk, I couldn't communicate, and I had a trach, so you can't even whisper. And,
Smoking all that gunpowder.
Oh, dude, there's nothing more hellish than when you're trying to get someone's attention, you're trying to communicate something, and you're just looking at them, and you're like, and you can't.
That was
you can't
good for the
point.
listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, sorry.
Carl's making
And
these
like
faces.
Carl gestured furtively with his angry eyes.
But and people can't do it. And I was like, Mark, you're flipping people off with your eyes, aren't you? That's what you do because you get so frustrated, mad that they don't understand what you're trying to say.
That's how I feel on nitrous oxide in the dental chair. I'm like,
Yeah,
No, you can't feel that way with nitrous oxide.
you can't be angry.
I buy whipped cream just for the contact high.
but yeah,
totally legal.
It's
Totally
frustrating. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a hellish thing to be trapped in your own body.
Yeah.
Mind's functioning, and you're like, why can I not communicate?
Oh yeah, and you're just trying, and you get just that frustration. But boy, what a relief that he's able to move on.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
On the
celebrate
bigger
more.
and better things.
Yep. Doesn't have to be here. Oh, Stan's so mean to drive with. Oh.
All right, should we wrap it up?
Yeah.
Any last thoughts anybody wants to throw out there? Stan
Stan, you got
has something.
He took a gas.
It's not a question either. It's
Oh,
get out and take someone shooting. Mentor someone.
Yeah.
You might have knowledge that somebody else could use and would appreciate.
yeah.
But,
Get out there.
Time is
Mark's
short.
Mark's a perfect example of doing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and be nice
sure.
to people.
Yeah.
There are enough jerks out there. We don't need any more.
Yeah, I'd say, Mark always made people better off after having met him than before.
For sure.
So try to do that.
Yep.
Leave people better off having met you than not.
Tasha talked about that in his eulogy also, of Mark wanted to leave this life better place than when he got here. And she said that's what we're trying to do also. And that's, I think, a very honorable way to live your life, and something that I've tried to do as well, and hopefully I can continue to try and leave a positive mark on whatever.
Can I finish with one, whether we finish on it or not? There's one quick story.
We're out of time.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Fun. So I didn't know this about Mark, and this was before he had already been diagnosed with ALS, but he forego a lot of his early life plans when he was a young teenager, when he was diagnosed with diabetes, and entered himself into some experimental diabetes experiments, I guess. Treatments, yeah. And did that for most of his life. And I think that's just the perfect Mark. Like you said, he tried to make this world better by giving up his own body and life practically to experiments and bettering those with diabetes, which I happen to be one. So appreciate his.
Nice.
Anyways, yeah. Mark's awesome.
So are we going to hug now? Or do we
I'm not crying. You're crying. I cried enough yesterday.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening. We'll probably record another podcast later. A week, maybe 2. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for listening. Remember Mark, and go out there and make the world a better place.
Oh, you're talking about when I was talking about the press. You kept asking the dumb questions. Like over and over.
The dumb questions.
The same dumb question.
No, he rephrased it several times.
It's like, dude, Stan, do you know what we're talking about? Do you understand the process? I don't think I ever understood your question, really, like, other than
It's
it
okay.
being...
Well,
That's because we all started teasing.
a good listener
And
would
ruined
have
any of it.
repeated the question back so they knew they understood properly.
Was this a reference to, was it Tasha or Sarah
Yeah,
yesterday
yeah.
saying that Mark said there were no dumb questions, and she's
Yes.
like, I asked
Yes.
tons
Very
of dumb
astute,
questions.
very
Yeah.
astute. But obviously, she was wrong too. So. And vicariously, Mark was wrong. So
Oh,
You guys
I
proved
wouldn't
him
go
wrong,
that
too.
far.
We're recording that.
Well, she said that Mark used to tell her, that
yeah, there are no
no dumb
questions.
questions.
Yeah.
And if
I
you
think
call me in the middle
Stan
of the night,
proved
need a ride,
wrong, right?
no questions asked until later.
Until later.
That's how we raise those girls. That's awesome.